Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through some full limited collections for just champion teams. If you like what you see guys, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and comment below any great value teams that you think I missed out here for the champion competition. So let's just kick things straight off, and I've got here the first team is going to be Werder Bremen of the German Bundesliga. And yeah, I think again very solid team, and you can pick up the full in-season collection for £120. So very nice indeed. Being 29 cards, should ideally be able to get that 5% quite nicely there, especially if you do pick up any via auctions or via buy it nows. But all in all, if you can make this team probably a lot cheaper. I've done it on rough averages when they're at their lowest prices. So yeah, so I think all in all, it should be easy enough for you guys to pick up a team like this. In regards to the team, I'd probably play, if you do pick up someone like a team like this, is going to be Zentner, Friedel, Schmid, Dux, and Weiser. I probably butchered all 5 of those guys, but you know what? I'm sorry. But all in all, this sort of team is very solid. They can peak and they can do quite well. So all in all, for a team like this, like I said here, for 29 players, I believe, like I said, you can pick up all 29. Yeah, very solid team for these sort of 5 teams. And we look at their standing at the moment. Werder Bremen are currently sitting, in 8th place. 1 win, 2 draws, no losses so far. Only 3 goals conceded in the 3 games, which is quite nice indeed. Having a draw against 2-2 against away from home to Augsburg. 0-0 to Dortmund, and then just recently winning 2-1 away from home to Mainz. They do have Bayern Munich at home next. So with the run of form Bayern Munich are in at the moment, I can't see that swinging in their favour, but who knows, it's at home, so potentially Werder Bremen can do something, maybe cause a bit of an upset there. But all in all, I don't think this sort of team is too bad. And the next team I have found here for under £200 for the in-season full collection is going to be, from the English Premier League, is going to be Fulham. I think Fulham are a very solid team. They've got some really solid players. And people like Berleno, Anderson, you obviously got Emil Smith-Rowe, who's just recently moved there. There are some really good players who can peak really decently as well. So the difficult thing with this one, they have got like Tim Ream, Mbabu, Borto here. There's about 3, 4, maybe 5 players that have moved on, so won't have a Fulham card unless you obviously indeed buy this unopened pack. But because obviously they've moved, there's no the amount of them basically is not. It's very scarce. There we go. I just got it out of the way. Got it out finally. So yeah, it's very scarce. So just take that in mind. So it might be difficult for you to get that 5% bonus, but you should easily be able to get that badge in, or 4% there. Obviously, if you do buy a lot of auctions or buy it nows from Sorare, of course, on the market. But yeah, like I said, very solid amount of players. If we look here, so we get rid of Werder Bremen here. We've got here with the Fulham teams, how I would line up most likely as of the time of recording. Obviously, these sort of players can go in and out of injuries, suspensions, out of form. So obviously take that with a pinch of salt. But Bernd Leno, solid goalkeeper, ex-Arsenal player as well. Anthony Robinson, the American left back. Emil Smith-Rowe, who's just recently again moved from Arsenal. Adama Traore, the tank. Very, very solid player. I've always thought if this guy sort of upped his final ball or his end product, he's going to become a solid player. I think because he had even more dribbles or just as many successful dribbles as Lionel Messi. So yeah, and you can see here, look at the size of the Donny. Very, very big boy. But anyways, nothing. Stop fantasizing. Anyway, yeah, and then we got Jaquim Anderson, obviously moved from Crystal Palace and has had a decent debut with him the other day as well. I think he hit something near a 30 AA. So again, very solid player, and that's a very solid lineup if I do say so myself. And if we look at Fulham in general, I am currently recording this on a Saturday, so Chelsea are beating West Ham here, and I'll tell you why it's funny in a minute. But yeah, beating them 2-0. And yeah, but with Fulham in general being 12th place, 4 goals and 4 goals conceded, 4 goals scored. they have played the likes of United, Leicester, Ipswich and West Ham. So not the best of teams so far, but they definitely have a collaboration of players there that can do really well in regards to obviously the scoring matrix. Obviously, you've got Kenny Tete, I believe, is a decent player. Doesn't score all too well so far on Sorare. Tom Kearney, when he does come on and play. Sander Berge recently just moved there. You got obviously Raul Jimenez, Rodrigo Muniz, who I believe is a good striker as well. Andreas Pereira, obviously a lot of us had him in FPL last season, if you do obviously do indeed play that. And you got someone like Alex Iwobi. So you've got a lot of wiggle room in regards to obviously movability in your team. If you don't like this team, then by all means, give it a swap. But it's just what I would personally do. And I forgot to tell you also the teams, I've got it written down here, for £150 for Fulham, which I personally think is very, very solid value, especially now you are, obviously once you bought this collection, you're going to be up there amongst in the leaderboards, and you're going to have a stupid percentage on each player, probably 9-10% plus, which is very solid indeed. So when these guys bang, because I believe they will, if we maybe look at their fixtures coming up, they have a home Newcastle, but then they're against Nottingham, I should say, which could be a difficult game away from home. If it was at home, it's obviously going to be more favourable. Man City's going to be difficult. Aston Villa's going to be difficult. Everton, they could do well in. Brentford, Palace difficult, but then Wolves there. So they've got a few games every now and again where it looks like, they're quite favourable to win. And I think overall the manager's really good. I've really enjoyed the team. I think they're a solid team. I think they're a difficult team to beat. And all that mixed into one, I think gives you a really good chance of getting amongst those top spots in the Premier League special competition. The third team, I believe, is a decent enough pickup here for you guys. It's going to be again in the Premier League, and it's going to be West Ham United. Now maybe you understand why I chuckled slightly earlier, because it's a little bit fitting. But all in all, I think this team collectively, on paper, is very, very solid team. Had some really good acquisitions in the summer. Obviously, you got the likes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Todibo. Obviously, they still got Paqueta. They got Somerville. Who else have they got here? Rodriguez from Betis. Fulkrug, which I thought was a really good purchase from Dortmund. And obviously, you got Mohamed Kudus there also, who's very solid. So, again, there's a couple of players like Aguerd, KC. Who else was there? James Ward-Prowse, I believe, as well, who have all moved. So obviously the scarcity in regards to their West Ham unopened packs is very low. But again, very similar to Fulham probably. You should be able to get at least that 4% bonus. Again, looking at the buy it nows and obviously everything off on auction. If it was up to me again to buy if I was to buy West Ham, I should say, this is the team I would probably run. Obviously, I think they are at a bit mixed emotions of whether or not they wanted to do Areola or not, or Fabianski. But again, you get the best of both worlds, because if their one does drop, then you just slot the other one straight in. But I would go Areola for the time being. Mavropanos, Kudus, who's a very solid player, very brilliant coup for West Ham from Ajax. Jarrod Bowen, obviously Mr. West Ham himself, they love him there. And Lucas Paqueta. Now, I'm not sure what happens with Lucas Paqueta, if there's any issues off the field, of course, but make sure, obviously, to do your research for any of these sort of teams or players, guys, that I do, obviously, indeed show you. If we look at the standings at the moment for West Ham, they are currently in 14th, as they are losing 2-0 to Chelsea at home as well at the moment. They've played Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Man City, Fulham, and obviously Chelsea. So, to be honest with you, that is a hard run of games. So I am expecting them to do a lot better in the near future. Who knows what's going to happen with the manager Lopetegui at the moment? They potentially could get rid, in which case then I firmly believe they're going to have a manager bounce. But I can see them holding on to it for quite a little longer. If we also look at maybe their fixtures coming up here, they do play the EFL Cup. I don't need to worry about that. But away to Brentford, at home to Ipswich. Could be a big scoring game, I would predict, off the face of it. 3-0 to West Ham there. A London little derby there, West Ham Tottenham, so that could be a good game. West Ham United, obviously United being how they are these days, away from home. West Ham could have a field day there as well. And then they got Nottingham, then at home to Everton as well. They've got quite a few nice little games coming up, actually, quite favourable games, which could put you up in that top echelon of the leaderboard in regards to obviously the EPL special, of course. But yeah, for all these sort of players, if I remember correctly, yeah, this is for £155 for the full in-season West Ham team. So £5 more expensive of that of Fulham. Whether or not you deem them great value is up to you, of course. But you can get, even if you was to just get half the players and get yourself that 3% bonus, I think is also a really good shout for any of these sort of teams. But yeah, for West Ham United, for a full in-season Premier League collection at £155, I don't think it's too shabby at all. And the final team I have got here for you guys for a full in-season collection is going to be in the French league, and it's going to be Olympique Lyonnais. Lyonnais, I again butchered that, but it's going to be Lyon of the French league. Again, some very solid players. They are having a very up and down season, like they did last season, just out of nowhere. Started just not doing very well at all. Again, like Fulham and West Ham, there are a couple of players here, like Dejan Lovren, who has moved. I can't remember any others. Diamonde has also gone as well. Mangala is also somebody you cannot purchase at the moment. But yeah, I think all in all, some very solid players here. I think Anthony Lopez is a good backup goalkeeper. Lucas Perry is obviously number one at the moment. You've got Tagliafico, so when he does play, he does well for Argentina. Whether he does well for Lyon or starts playing for Lyon again is obviously another story. You've got Clinton Mata, who's okay. Kaleta Carr, probably butcher that again, but yeah, he's someone else obviously you can put in. The Chelsea United legend here of Nemanja Matic, wish it was Vidic. Tolisso is decent. Kakare is very good. Maitland-Niles doing well at the moment. Gift Orban's not hit the ground running at all there at Lyon, so who knows? He could potentially be one to hold for the future if he does move back to, I think it was Genk or Ghent, that he did play for beforehand. You obviously got people like Amin Sarr. Sorry, not Amin Sarr. You got Lacazette, Wilfred Zaha, some youth players like Malik Fofana, who's only 19 years of age. I don't even want to pronounce. Should I pronounce this guy here? Georges Mikatoadze. Yeah, sorry about that. And then you got Benrahma as well. So yeah, again, a good collection of players there. I would say these guys are a bit more difficult in regards to value because this is under £200. So naturally, this team's going to cost you £195. And what you've got to realise is there is 35 cards, and there are only a few that you don't. There are only a few that you're not able to actually buy off the market at the moment. So you're probably thinking maybe 32 cards as opposed to Fulham and West Ham's, which is like 25, 26 maybe even less than that. So there is a lot more cards, so that's probably why it's a bit more expensive. But even if you, again, bought half of them, get that 3% up. You obviously got, where is he here? What is it? Ryan Churchy as well. Obviously a brilliant little player. 20 years old overall, just hasn't started so far this season. Whether or not, if you guys know, obviously please leave a comment below, but we are all aware that this guy does have an abundance of talent. So whether or not he's going to be coming back into the Lyon team, who knows, but maybe one of you guys do indeed there. So again, make sure you do your own research. But again, I would probably line this team up, if we get rid of West Ham here, as follows. So we go for Lucas Perry and Duje in the defensive. Again, butchered it. Kakare, Georges, and then Alexandre Lacazette. In regards to their table, or where they are in the table, they have so far lost against Rennes, Monaco, won against Strasbourg, and then drew at away to Lens, who are up the table there. So again, probably very similar to someone like West Ham, where it is a hard run of games there. So maybe they come out of their shell once they do start to get that game or two in a row where it is a bit of an easier fixture. So yeah, they are away. Sorry, at home to Marseille at the moment. And Marseille are second and on fire at the moment, scoring 12 goals in the 4 games. You can see up here. If we maybe take a quick little look at their fixtures in general, you can see here they do play Europa League. Well, in the league phase here. So unsure if Sorare do cover that. I believe they should do. But yeah, after Lyon, they've got Toulouse, and then they have Nantes, and then Le Havre, Besiktas, Auxerre. So they've got a couple of games coming up that seem a lot more favourable for them. Okay, and yeah, all in all, I think there's a solid team. Would I say it's the best value at the 4? Probably not. But again, a team who, if they hit, this could be the better team in regards to, well, maybe value. I know it's obviously a bit contradictory to what I said, but if Churchy does end up playing, if Lyon do end up kicking on, they can easily be amongst the top 3, top 4 in the league. Whereas obviously for Fulham, for West Ham, if they have a good season, you're probably thinking, 8th, something like that. So the upside potential of Lyon is that higher, I believe, of the 3 teams. Werder Bremen, very similar again to Fulham and West Ham. You're probably thinking 7th, 8th, maybe 6th on a good year. But all in all, I think Lyon can be amongst that top 5 quite easily in the league, in my opinion. I don't know the league inside and out very well. But all in all, like I said, for £195, that's going to be your final team for the in-season limited collection champions. And just a reminder, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload.